we're in some wild times right now. We're in some wild times right now because AI bans are here. Artificial intelligence bans are here. We have our very first one. And I want to give you guys the backstory on how I found out about this and how I got into it and stuff, because it's wild. You know, artificial intelligence, art of any kind has been a hot topic right now. Like, people don't know what to think about it. You know, we got the AI art that is coming up with stuff. And, you know, it's borderline copyright infringement, because these AIs, like whatever the image one is, I always forget the name of it. It's training the algorithm by feeding it things that already exist. And I know they're already getting into trouble with that because, you know, they told the AI to come up with a picture of soccer players or something like that. And the AI came up with an image that had a janky Getty Images logo tag on it. So that's proof right there that the AI is learning from images that are already copywritten and stuff like that. It's not coming up with these on its own. But when it comes to music, I thought we were years away from this. I was like, if AI generates music, it's not going to be good, because to train most AIs, you have to feed it other music. Perfect example. I've showed this to you guys before, but we're going to do it again because it's hilarious. I don't care how annoying it gets. Up until recently, this is where I thought we were at right now. There is an algorithm streaming to YouTube nonstop. It started 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. That's called Relentless Doppelganger. And it is an AI that was only trained with Involuntary Doppelganger by Archspire. That's the only thing it's been trained on. And there's a live stream of it, of this AI just pumping out its own original music based off of that. Oh my God, there's actually somebody else in here watching right now. And they said, come to Brazil. Oh, that joke will never get old. So this is from a channel called DataBots, and this AI is constantly streaming, and this is what it sounds like. All right, so you guys get the point, right? So I discovered that a few months ago, and in my mind, I was like, that's where we're at with AI music. You just train it with a bunch of other stuff and it spits out nonsense. Recently, while I was on tour, I met somebody that said, I have something to show you. And because I've seen your YouTube and I know that you just really enjoy music, and I want to show you something, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it. And I was like, okay. So they showed me this video and I was like, just blown away. Like right up my alley musical wise. Sounded like some of the best mellow death I've heard in a while. It was fantastic. Video was a little odd. It looked like World of Warcraft characters playing instruments. It was CGI generated, but the music was phenomenal. And after I got done listening, I was like, I told this person, I was like, okay, this sounds like this is probably like an all-star band from Sweden or something. Like, the vocalist even sounds familiar. Like, is this somebody I know? And they were like, no, you don't know anybody in this band. I was like, okay, who is it? They told me it was fucking AI. And I think my brain malfunctioned. Oh no. Because I had to sit there for a second and try and absorb what I was just told. And I was like, hold on, explain. Explain to me what that was. And they were like, this is the world's first fully AI metal band. What you just heard was generated by AI. And I was like, no chance. There's no way an AI wrote something that good. There's no chance. So then I started asking questions. And I was like, well, what was the algorithm fed to learn? Because that, you know, and they're like, that's nothing. Well, they're like, not nothing, but nothing that exists. And I was like, how's that possible? And they're like, well, if you feed an algorithm or an AI music that already exists, and then an AI comes up with something, you're in a whole realm of copyright materials. So if you're trying to come up with original music with an AI, you can't feed it something that already exists. That's already been, like, you couldn't just feed it In Flames, Soilwork, Dark Tranquility, Amon, Amarth, all these bands and be like, write something that sounds like this. It would be copywritten to oblivion. So before I tell you anything else about this, I'm going to show it. We're going to watch this whole thing on Twitch right now. I'm not going to play this whole thing on YouTube because I want people to go just check this out because this is wild. Like, I want you to sit and listen to this and just understand that an AI made this. And then after this, I will tell you what I was told and more information and stuff like that. And then we're going to do a little dive and see what we can find out about this company because this is wild. So this is the world's first AI metal band. The band is called the Frostbite ORCKING'S. The song is called Guardians of Time. Here we go. This is the exact video I saw. And I lost my mind. I can't get over the fact that this is AI generated.
Moments later.
Jesus, dude, it's so good. Okay, so let's be 100% honest here. That's like, this is like unreasonably good. And it's not just good, it's really good. Like, if this was an actual band that was touring right now and they were coming near me, I would buy a ticket and go immediately. The music is that good. So there's a lot of questions about this in the chat, and I want to try and answer some of these questions to the best of my ability for what I was told. Now, full disclaimer, while I explain this, I don't know everything, and I'm repeating this to the best of my ability. I'm gonna try and be as accurate as possible, but there are some things that we may learn later that I don't know. So, because of the fact that they couldn't train this with material that existed already, basically what I was told was that there's an engineering team that has come up with this AI. Like, I believe they're German, if I'm not mistaken. And what they did is they got a bunch of other producers and musicians involved. And what they did is they came into a studio and they played for this AI. Like, they just sat and riffed. I guess drummers and guitar players and bass players come in and they just riffed for hours and hours and hours just so the AI could learn, like chord progressions and sounds and all that stuff. And then for the vocals, if I remember this right, they had like a vocalist and a linguist come in. I don't know how much time they spent training this AI. I don't know how much time went into this or anything like that, but the basis of this, if I understand it correctly, was they trained the AI from actual musicians and linguists and vocalists that came into the studio and recorded things for it and let it learn. And then they had it start cranking out music. Now, I was told, like, not every song is coming out like that. And there are minor adjustments that have to be made. But when the AI came up with this, it came up with the song and it put the song out mixed. Now, they did make some changes here and there from what I understand. Like, they messed with the mix a little bit and they maybe, cut some things that were recorded on the tracks and stuff like that. But the majority of what you just heard was completely originally came up with by the AI. That's pretty much the basis of what I know about this. Now, I want to go to their website because there's a lot more that goes into this than just what we were just talking about. Okay. So there is a website for what is called the Metalverse. Good play on words right there. It says the Metalverse, home of the world's first AI rock and metal bands. Bands being the key word here. They are going to be releasing different styles of music that have been put together by this AI with different fictional AI bands. It's not just going to be the Frostbite ORCKING'S. You're going to get a lot of different bands. There's going to be different styles of music. There's going to be like symphonic metal, like Nightwish. There's going to be a lot of other things and not just orcs. Like I'm thinking there's probably going to be like elves and dwarves and like seems wild. I've looked at this briefly like a couple weeks ago, but I haven't really traversed it. Okay, enter the Metalverse. Okay, so from what I remember about this image that you're seeing right here, this is the Metalverse. There's different places. There's the Nocturnal Norths. That's where the Frostbite ORCKING'S are from. There is going to be a fictional AI band from every area of this map. If Dark Dungeons isn't deathcore, we riot. So anyways, we've got a whole world called the Metalverse that has different areas that they are going to have different bands from. This is going to be wild. This is going to be wild, dude. But then on the website, they have the Frostbite ORCKING'S. But let's go. This is the Frostbite ORCKING'S website. First single, Guardians of Time, out now. We just listened to it. Oh, you can get bios on the band? All right, we got to read the bios on the band, dude. Alva Berylsdottir. It says, unbelievably beautiful like her mother, but she can drink like her father and plays the guitar so that helmets fly. Bark Donnerhole. Is this one person? Okay, so they're counting the drummer of the band as the little guy on top, apparently. That's a great question. Did the AIs write these bios too? That I don't know. Little slender guy, visually not a Viking, but a brutal machine on the drums. Long hair, passive contemporary, but on stage a personified war. I assume these are AI generated. Yeah, the drummer's pulling a ratatouille. Yeah. Folkvar Jarlsson, vocals. Singer and brain of the band. Concentrated and steady, but if he gets liquor and drinks, he goes completely crazy, and the translation of his names, Folkvar, who steers the people, Jarl, fine, noble man, are completely turned to the opposite, and the rest of the band has to clean up the leftovers the next day. Damn, he sounds like me when I was still drinking. Got 3 years sober coming up, by the way. So their guitarist and their vocalist are definitely drunks. Jörmen Gander, guitarist, concentrated on the guitar. Another concentrated guy. Otherwise, mainly interested in two-legged chicks. Mainly interested in two-legged chicks. Always comes, but usually too late. Wait, what? This last sentence. Always comes, but usually too late. His big mast usually has priority. Okay, so this is the sex addict of the band. What the f***? An AI did this? I'm even more blown away than just with the music now. All right, the bassist, Omar Kauka. That looks suspiciously Finnish, that last name. No one knows how he came from the north. Kauka means from afar. He doesn't drink. He doesn't eat pork. But he is the soul of the band. The bass in the background with an imposing stature and a lot of hair. All over. This fucking bio just described me. This is getting weird. No, I do eat pork. Clearly, this has been fed Finnish in some way, shape, or... I mean, dude, so the female guitar player just seems like a drunken party animal. The drummer seems like he's the one that's like, yeah, I just live to rock and roll. Like, that's all he cares about. The vocalist, absolutely alcoholic, drunken animal. The other guitarist, sex addict, for sure, probably has an issue. Bass player, pretty normal. Bass player seems like he'd be the one doing all the business at the end of the shows. Settling the shows out, counting the merch money. Driving the van to the next show. This is interesting, man. This is super interesting. I'm so curious to see where this goes. Because I even asked, I was like, after we checked out the music and everything, I was like, how do you credit a band? How do you credit an AI band? Let's say they release an album. Who gets credited? The person that originally showed me this said that the engineers and the musicians get credited. Because technically the engineers are the ones that built the AI, and the musicians are the ones that trained it. So that makes total sense. I also asked, how do you do a live show out of something like this? And they said pretty much like they have ideas, but like you don't do a tour out of this. Unless our technology got good enough soon that they're doing like hologram shows and stuff. Sorry, that question just threw me off guard. That's Thessalonius Rex just said, how do you roadie to AI bands? Well, think about it this way. let's say they do go like a hologram route, like on stage, right? Let's say a band like this ends up doing a club tour with like holograms, right? You still have to have a crew to do everything. You just don't have a band. You're still going to need a merch person. You're still going to need a lighting operator, lighting director. You're going to need a front of house engineer. You won't need a monitor engineer. You'll probably need set carps. You'll probably need a video tech. You'll definitely need a video tech if you're going to be doing video and holograms and stuff. Yeah, I would argue that the crew would be way more important to something like this than the actual like music itself. Cause like you'll still need a bus driver to transport the crew. You'll probably need a semi or something for all of the gear that needs to be set up for all of the shows. Server maintenance. You're literally going to have everything you would need for a normal tour, just no band. Quiddick said, how do you treat an AI band that behaves like dicks? Can you imagine that? Middle of a show, hologram turns to the side of the stage and starts berating one of the fucking crew people. Will there be AI groupies? Well, there's going to have to be AI groupies for these fucking sex addicts and people that like women with 2 legs in the band. After the show, the AI holograms stay on and you just see those 3 band members just chugging holographic beer and acting like drunken assholes to everybody. Yeah, who gets canceled first? I'm trying to wrap up this outro with these comments, man. Jesus. But the one thing that I want to bring up, people have their doubts about the AI art and stuff like that. And people always complain that it's going to take away from the human element and stuff like that. And there are specific situations I can think of, like there are people that are just AI generating art now instead of having artists do it for them. And I know that is a problem, but there are a lot of professionals that are also using AI just to do things. Like, you know, Nick Nocturnal had a Termina video where the artwork was completely made by AI for that. And then the video director just put everything together. When it comes to music, I didn't know how I would feel about it until I finally heard this and saw this. And now I can honestly say I'm not bothered by it. Because here's the thing. Think about this. Like, this isn't going to take away from anybody else. These bands aren't getting signed. Like, I asked that question too. I was like, do you sign a band like this? And they said no. They said essentially the company that generated the AI, that made the AI, they're essentially the record label for a project like this. It's not like Frostbite ORCKING'S are going to sign to Napalm Records. Even though this does seem like a band that Napalm Records would absolutely sign just based on how they look and the gimmick and stuff. Because, you know, Napalm definitely loves their gimmicky bands. I'm sorry, Napalm. I love you, but that is fact. But this isn't going to take away from anything. This isn't going to, like, and my point that I want to make is, how many times have you ever discovered a new band in your life and then thought to yourself, well, this band is better than this other band that I was listening to, so f*** this other band I was listening to. I'm never going to listen to them again because I discovered this. That never happens. So just because an AI has come up with a song that I really enjoy that I'm going to be listening to a lot, shut up. That has not happened. There's no way you've discovered new music and then said, f*** this other band I was listening to. I'm never going to listen to them again. There's no way that's happened. That's kind of my point. Just because this has come out and I really like it, I've been listening to it on repeat, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop supporting another band or stop buying another band's merch or something like that. So my whole take on this is like, hey, regardless of whether it's AI or not, if I'm enjoying it, which I am, I'm just going to enjoy it. I love it. This song has been on constant rotation for me, dude. If nothing else, I'm just way more curious how this works. I want to know how this works beyond what I've told you guys, what I know, because there's got to be a lot more that's going into this than what I've just described and explained to you guys. I want a documentary on this. I want a documentary showing these musicians in the studio training this AI. And I want documented proof of them just basically plugging in, write us a Melodeath song that sounds Viking-ish that features Orcs as the band, and pressing enter, and the AI just being like, all right, hold on a minute. Here you go. But hey, man, this might be the future. We might be starting to get way more wild stuff like this. Like the day that an AI comes out with like West Coast gangster rap or something, I'm going to be like, wow, this fucking AI knows struggles, dude. Like this shit is wild. This is so wild. I never thought I would ever see anything like this of this quality. We're going to stay on top of this. We're going to learn more. For those of you that are interested or kind of blown away by anything we've talked about, I'll throw links in the description of this YouTube video where you can go check out more of this and stuff like that. And at the very least, go watch the music video because this whole song is awesome and I love it. If anybody who's watching on YouTube is interested in joining us, you can go to twitch.tv/TankTheTech. I stream often. We record weird stuff like this. And I'm about to go back out on tour. So if you guys would like to keep up with me, you can follow me on social media. My handle on almost everything is @TankTheTech. I post a lot of pictures and stuff like that. So, and if any of you guys are going to be in any of those cities that are coming up on that Powerwolf tour, well, hopefully I'll see you there. But until next time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to everybody on YouTube for watching later. Wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other, and I will see you all very soon.